Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to today's webinar, where I am joined by the guys at Chameleon Mode. You've seen them before, but Brian and Simon are here. Simon's there for about 2 seconds because his camera's lagging, but we're more interested in the information that the guys bring to the table. Before we go into anything, Chameleon Mode, Antidetect Browser, you've been on before talking about the technical specifics of why it's Antidetect, but what sort of things can we expect to see today from you guys? What kind of things are you going to be showing us?
Well, we're going to look at creating authentic digital footprints that sites, the sites that we want to always interact with, that love, that they, I guess, fall in love with, we like to say. And then we'll show how you could use Chameleon for a number of things, everything from CTR, social CTR, setting up, local profiles in a very, very targeted way, and we'll also talk about PBNs, because I think they're very misunderstood in where we are now and how to really get the most out of them and set them up properly in Chameleon. And we'll try and cover as much as we can, but I guess we're limited.
Yeah, cool. So how are we going to be doing this? Presentation again, or are you going to share your screen?
Well, yeah, I have a presentation just to cover a little bit for those who want to just get to the demo and the actual. Yeah, I think we should start with a presentation.
Yeah,
just a few.
Go for that.
So for those who or let me see if I can.
Yeah, I think you need to
turn my camera off because it's probably messing.
Turn your camera off because it's lagging and it's having an issue with the sound as well from my end. So.
Okay.
He looks much better.
Yeah, thanks.
So now go for it, Simon, if you want to start with your presentation. I'll just add it to the...
Okay, so we're just going to go through this really quickly. I know we want to get to the meat and potatoes of what we're going to be showing today. But like I said, this is what we're going to be discussing today, how to create these authentic digital footprints. And by the end of today, hopefully, the short presentation, you'll have complete peace of mind on how you're able to manage these accounts. Creating these digital footprints that rank, eliminating all sorts of tracking issues and account bans. And then we're going to talk about CTR and show you Chameleon in action, how to, implement how these profiles, are used, how to access them, and how best to make use of them. Okay, so, there are a lot of other anti-detect browsers on the market. We are the only one who specifically is making the digital fingerprint authentic for digital marketers, creating real geolocation standards, all the way through to having real system browsers and having the latest what's called browser cores in the industry. But it just basically means everything is in sync and that your Chameleon mode looks and is like a real authentic user. So very quickly, I've been doing this for about 20 years, started in affiliate marketing as, 18, 19 years ago, then created Browsio off of the back of that in 2015. And then we're here now, basically, without taking too much of your time. I know we want to get into it. So claim to fame, just to get through to, when I had that e-cigarette site, we were ranking for everything from e-cigarette to all the e-cigarette terms to the term e-cigarette. And it was a great little, into affiliate marketing. Yeah, I then started just ranking whatever we could. Online casino, we built something, me and a friend, we sold that for about $350,000. And then we bought an agency because things started to tank very quickly, as it happens with SEO. So, cigarette terms and what have you, they all started to go down the drain. The agency that we were having issues with because we were being tracked. WebRTC was the first issue, and then progressed over the years to what we have today, where the anti-detect, the browsers are literally able to see everything from your browser fingerprint, connecting your cookies and media devices, everything. It's not just your browser anymore. So today they're encompassing everything from your proxies, your cookies, your canvas, your WebGL media devices. So, you know, because of the issues that we had, we were running a lot of PBNs, we had a lot of accounts, a lot of social sites, and we nearly went out of business because of that. You know, it was just impossible to manage everything in the way that we were managing it. So, you know, what we were doing, which is what most people still do today, is manage all of your profiles using browser profiles, VPNs or VPSs, managing everything with spreadsheets, which isn't really the right way to do. Well, you can't do what we're about to show you when you're managing it like this with browser profiles. This is just an easy, quick fix, just to sort of have access to what you need, maybe. So we have spent hundreds of thousands over the years so that you don't have to. Software that just didn't perform as promised. You know, outsourcers that we had work on accounts for weeks and months just to lose them. You know, developers and programmers that just were not able to deliver. And then, as I mentioned earlier on, we got lucky at a barbecue. My brother had been working very high-level military programmer at the time, and he had overheard the issues and was able to come up with something. And about a month and a half later, the end of 2014, he was able to create something that we have been working on from then until now. So what we want to do is create real digital footprints effortlessly. And that means, you know, no more logging in and out of the same browser profiles, managing multiple browser profiles and whatever it is that you have to. So creating a digital footprint means that everything, an authentic digital footprint means that everything that your browser is sending, all of the signals that your browser is sending, is consistent, so that when you go back to these sites like Google, and when you go back to Facebook, and when you go back to all of these sites, you know, you'll recognize, they know who you are, they see you in person as before, you have the same consistent sessions, and you're able to then create more authority with these profiles, as opposed to, you know, having something that you're not able to come back to, and you're constantly logging in. There's no digital footprint. If you're clearing cache, if you're clearing cookies, if you're constantly logging in and out of these sites and you don't have everything consistent, that's where everything starts to come apart, right? So I know we've covered a lot. Privacy concerns, we're going through this quickly. You know, account access issues and account bans, browser profiles. So old habits, I know that they die hard, and I can't see how many people are listening right now. Maybe if there's someone that could let me know in the chat how many profiles that you have, that you've had access to maybe over the years. You know, every time you build a website, you know, you create a Gmail, you create an email, you create a social profile, right? So, you know, if you've got more than sort of one, if you've got more than 5 profiles, if you've got more than 15 profiles, you know, when was the last time you accessed them? You know, when was the last time you were really able to utilize them? So in Chameleon mode, which we're about to jump to now, I'm going to show you how you'll be able to increase your productivity and just create these profiles and access them as and when you need them. So let me jump into Chameleon mode. Now I have Chameleon mode on the screen. Can you see Chameleon mode? Is there yeah, you guys can see it. Okay. All right. So very quickly, this is just the dashboard. This is where you can put your favorite profiles. You know, so just like you have favorite bookmarks, you know, so in the profile area, you're able to just click a star and they will appear here. So these would be the profiles that, you know, you're interacting with regularly. So I've put these here now because I wanted to access this one here quickly, Billy. So before I do that, I just want to show you what the process is to get to this profile, what it means to create, I guess, a digital fingerprint, what goes into it. So on this main profile section here, you just click this button. It says new profile. Okay, and when you click new profile, what this does is it creates a completely new separate segmented section on the computer that is going to have a separate proxy. It's going to have a separate fingerprint, separate browser fingerprint for all of your system browsers, your Chrome, your Brave, and your Firefox. So whereas other Antidetect browsers use Chromium builds, these are real authentic profiles. So this is a real Chrome, a real Firefox, and a real Brave, and we're going to have others like Edge added in soon. And that's it. That's all you have to do. Now, obviously, you're going to want to fill out your profile information. So, Craig Demo, for example, fill out, the name of the profile. If it's a local business, GMB, whatever it is that you're managing, you've got the local business, the addresses, and then the logins. And the logins is what is where is what this little button is here. It allows you to very easily access all of your profile information when you are in your browser, right? So I'm not going to go ahead and set this up right now because, it's very straightforward. Just like you open up on a regular browser, your Gmail, your other accounts, you do exactly the same thing there. So let's jump to the dashboard, and I'm just going to open up this profile here, Billy Hernandez. Okay, and this here is a just look at demo channel, that case study channel that we just put up a couple of not too long ago. And what we did in the beginning is we used one or two profiles to build the authority of this using shorts. Now, shorts are very easy to just, they work really, really well. There's no links that go in shorts, so it helps you, build your channel really, really well. Now, if you look at the kind of views that we're getting over here, like 512 views on this short, right? Here's another short, 746, 810, 549, 512, and 19. Now, there's 19, 6, right, with a very few, and 14. Now, can you guess which profiles we didn't manipulate a little bit with a little bit of CTR, right? Obviously, it's these ones. All of these other profiles, all of these shorts that we've got here, as you can see, this has got 3 comments, 549 views. This has got 2 comments, 10 likes. This has got 512 views. This has got 1 like, no comments, 19 views. So all we've done with this is we would go into Chameleon, and let's say this is the folder that you are using to, engage with these profiles. So you would come here, you'd click the profiles that you have set up already, right? And then you'd open up this, you'd click the Chameleon browser button. And what this is doing now is this is now opening up a really easy management console for you so that you can get access to these profiles very easily by just clicking the browser, clicking them within here, right? And it also manages control so that you can see exactly where you are the whole time. Right? You see that's highlighted. So now I know I'm interacting with this profile. And, the same thing and so forth. You get this little pop-up on the side that tells, and what that's doing down there is when it's launching, it's automatically taking the prop. So let's go to Google, google.com. Oops. And type in, let's say, where am I? Where am I? So this is telling me that I'm in Ashburn, in that postcode. There's that little blue, right? So what this has done, it's done it automatically in the background. It's taken all of your data from the proxy that you've used. It's synchronized your time zone with the location so that everything is appearing 100% the way it's supposed to appear. Your browser fingerprints are all now consistent. They're saved. They're not going to be refreshing every time you open up a browser, which is what all of the other Antidetect browsers do. They refresh, and it's a very complicated thing to do. It's taken quite some time to do that, but you have the ability, and we have it in here. So just to show you how that, what that means is that you've got this. So right now here, this is set to randomize the client recs. So we were testing this obviously, and you are able to now decide. You can get really focused in on all of the security settings so that each time you refresh your browser, you're going to have a completely new browser fingerprint. But that's not really what you want if you're a digital marketer. If you're doing SEO, you want to really have a nice, clean, consistent browser fingerprint so that whenever you come back to sites like Google and you know, Facebook and whatever, they're going to know exactly who you are. All right, so let me just close this one down.
So when you say who you are, actually what you mean is this profile will look like an individual person at an individual computer. And then when you open up a different browser or a different profile, sorry, that then will have all its own different digital fingerprint that then Google and Facebook will look at and go, oh, that's Brian logging in, that's Simon logging in, that's Craig logging in, right?
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Cool.
Yes. And it's all very easily managed, you know, through this little pop-up. You know, you can, there's multiple ways to access them all at the same time. There's, you know, you can create an automation script that will do that, and click on these and run that. So there are a number of different ways. This is the easiest way to just get in there, access them manually, and go and do whatever it is that you need to do. So you would do a search. For example, here, what we did, the good strategy over here was, you know, we would just, you know, do a very exact match keyword search for this particular, you know, for this exact search, for this exact keyword, and then you would find it, interact with it, go backwards and forwards, then, you know, click, and then Google registers that as a real user. That's nothing to do with me. That's not associated with me. As you can see here, the likes, 512, 0 likes, no interaction, 14 views. So it's very, very easy to take a couple of profiles using Chameleon mode and jumpstart any YouTube channel, jumpstart any, you know, Reddit account, jumpstart any social media account, including, maybe you want to say something about local, but in terms of local and using Chameleon, it really is the, you know, the only option, because in the only way that you could really hyper focus in and create, you know, local personas that, you know, that are real, that have a real profile. Like I'm in Niagara Falls right now. This profile saying in Niagara Falls. You saw the other one was in Vermont. And then when we click on the map, so let's say you're doing local marketing, right? You're doing local SEO. You need to localize yourself into this particular area. Say, let's say Niagara Falls, for example. You know, as you can see, I'm logged in up here, Billy G, you know, in this particular profile. So now I'm associating myself with this profile, right? I could then, you know, move myself around even. So, you know, I can put myself into a Starbucks near me, right? Let's say Starbucks near me. So I would want to then, let's say, get directions to Starbucks near me. Oh, that's what I wanted to show as well, about setting the home address as well, which I'll get to in just a second. But you saw that pop-up that just came up there. We'll get back to that in a second. So now, where is Starbucks? So here's Starbucks. There's Starbucks, and this is my location here. Let me just reset here. So what you can do here is we update device from location, so we can get that little blue dot to appear somewhere. And we're giving it all of the permissions. As you can see, we're giving it all of those permissions. We're saying yes, yes, in the browser. That is my location. My location is exactly there. Where is it here? There, right there, that blue dot, according to the browser that I've just updated via my browser. It's telling me I'm in that location. So now I've got, you know, directions for my location, you know, to Starbucks. I could then send those directions to my phone, or I could send it to my email. So now I sent that to my email address here. And, you know, if I also, another great thing to do to localize your profiles is when you're in Google, and you go, yeah, so let's say, where am I again? We can do choose area. And if you want to set home, right, it will then redirect me, because I haven't done it here, but it will redirect me to my home address, right? And then you can now take your home address and localize your profile to your home address, to this whatever address you've chosen to be your home address for this profile, for the 5, the 10, the other profiles that you need to be localized and interacting in this particular area. And, you know, people have been doing that and have been saying that they've been going to, let's say we've been doing, I just went to Starbucks near me. So they've been doing this. So here's Starbucks, right? This is the Starbucks. No, this is my location. So here's Starbucks. All right, so let's find Starbucks here. Where is that again? I just want to show you what people have been doing. So you can change your location. So it's not just that, oh, I'm in this location and I'm connected to that location because that's my proxy. But what I can do is, let's say I want to go to, I don't know, I don't want a sponsored location. Let's see, that's a Best Western. Okay, so we'll go to Best Western. I'm going to right click. And what I'm going to do, see, is I'm getting the geographical coordinates to Best Western. Okay, so now if I go up to our Chameleon extension and we just paste those coordinates in and just come out of there. Now what's that? What will happen now is you'll see when I refresh, and we're going to do this here again, update from your device. You see it's moving me over to there. See, the blue dot is now there in Best Western. And what people have been reporting doing is they've been doing that and saying that they've been getting emails from Google saying, hey, you were just at Best Western, or you were just at Starbucks, fancy leaving, you know, some feedback about that place. So it really, really makes sure that you are in that location. That blue dot tells Google, tells you that this is exactly where you are right now. So that's in terms of local. It's, you know, the sky's the limit. You're able to then get a number of different minions, do brand searches, and have them localized in the area, doing different searches, brand searches, CTR, and watch things pop. So in terms of non-local, it's just having this authentic digital footprint so that, you know, you might not need to go into Google Maps and change your location on the fly like that, but you still have the ability to have, I mean, it still gives you that perfect, you know, digital authentic fingerprint so that you're able to, you know, look real and be recognized each time you come back to these sites as a real human user, as a real user, so that your accounts grow over time. You know, I have accounts in this Chameleon here that we've had for, sheesh, I don't know, for like 10 years. I think this is one, Vanessa, I think it's open in Brave. Let me just double check. Could be in Chrome, but, oh, here we go. So here, yeah. So as you can see, just straight in, 517 friends. This profile has been, you know, shown on webinars for the last 10 years, and you know, it's just the way that the browsers are set up, and you don't have to worry about any of this stuff in the back end, you know. So accessing these sites are simple. Your productivity is through the roof. Being able to go in and just quickly, you know, leave a comment, you know, a like, whatever it might be, across any social site, from YouTube to wherever it is that you're going to be interacting, you know, you have the ability to do that. And Chameleon lets you be that more productive and that much more secure, managing your profiles in this way.
And I know it's sad, but this is one of the reasons I love Chameleon, is that I can just open up a few different browsers for different profiles, and they're automatically logged in for Facebook, for Google, for X, for LinkedIn, and then I can just crack on and do what I need to do. I can go and share a YouTube video in Facebook to 5 different accounts really, really quickly and easily. So sorry for jumping in, but that's one of my favorite bits about Chameleon.
Yeah. Yeah, no, absolutely. And I guess you'll also love Chameleon. It's if you have more than a handful of accounts, if you've got more than one account, you know, if you're just using browser profiles, you can't do what we like to call cross-pollinate, right? You can't go ahead and do that CTR like you can do over here, because each one of these profiles is on a completely separate location. As you can see, geographical location, everything is completely separate. Here's another profile that we had as well. I mean, they're all, you know, automatically logged in, because the way that we're managing the cookies and the cache and the browser fingerprints creates that consistent profile, just like on your computer. When you go to your computer and you just go into your Facebook, you just go into your Gmail, and you never have any issues. That's exactly the same as, you know, it's how we've developed this over the last 10 years, and we've gone through so many iterations, from, you know, the embedded browsers to the built browsers that we had worked on for so many years, only till recently find so many issues in the way that they're built. Because think about it, if you've got a browser built by Chrome, built by Google, you've got a team of like the best programmers on the planet just in there, programming away, and they put things into the builds just to know. Google's going to know if you're using Chrome, Facebook. No, they all know if this is an authentic browser. It's why, you know, the industry, the anti-detect industry, talks so much about browser cores, because you have to make sure to have the latest browser build. You ever go to a website and, you know, see, you know, hey, you don't have the latest browser update, you know, please update to the latest browser. So that in itself is a flag, right? So that's the kind of thing that you don't have to worry about. As soon as Chrome updates, as soon as you know, Firefox updates, Brave updates, you know, when you open up a profile within Chameleon, you'll get a little update in the bottom corner over here, just when it tells you it's requesting the geo data. It will then go ahead and let you know it's updating Firefox or it's updating Chrome, and you're always going to be providing the latest and the best footprint in order for your profiles to, you know, to grow. And just to touch now on the last thing that we were going to talk about, which is PBNs and how they're misunderstood. You know, I mean, PBNs still work. They work great. In local, you can still get away with doing PBNs, I guess, the old school way, when you're just buying a PBN and not connecting it to anything. You're just, you know, putting it up and hoping, you know, that eventually, you know, that it'll be fine. You know, not connecting it to any social profiles, not connecting it to Webmaster Analytics or anything like that. And the PBNs have died over the years because it's really hard to do this without something like Chameleon mode. It's actually impossible to do something like this without something like Chameleon mode. You can't just go ahead and open up a website and then connect it to a webmaster that's separate from a separate Gmail, from a separate everything, and you just can't do that unless you have a way to separate all of your profiles, keep everything apart from one another, so that there's no way for them to come back to you. So with Chameleon mode, you are able to just, you know, when you know, if you're opening up, and I mean, how many people here are just creating AI blogs one after another? I mean, I know I'm in a group with AI writing tools, and there are people in there with 100 ranking. This is not ranking, that's not ranking. I guarantee that all of these blogs, I guarantee none of these blogs have got a social profile authorship in the same way as you can do when you can just open up Chameleon mode, click a button, say, okay, now that profile's now my PBN. Now this is now my PBN. Now I can connect Facebook to it. I can connect YouTube to it. I can connect Google Search Console to it. I could even start driving traffic to my PBN organically. Now this is not a, this is getting a tiny bit of traffic. It's just AI content, but it was just done with the right authorship, connecting all of the Twitters and the Facebooks and, you know, all of the schema code underneath, all done automatically with free plugins. It's nothing, no big deal to do, right? And that is how to get out of the idea that PBNs don't work is you need to just think of PBNs as a real website that has to send a real signal, because what is everyone doing now? Looking for sites with traffic, with real signals, with real people. And if you, if you're building it like this, which it's just as easy when you've got access to those profiles, then everything you do is just going to grow and build as an asset over time, right? Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
Just
so
touch on quickly about some automation that we could do where you can then do some like brand searches. And I'm not talking about spamming the internet, but a couple brand searches for each PBN a couple times a week, just to make them feel even more real. Just show that little bit of, where you would see the automation and stuff, because we've got all that built in.
Yeah, well, you have here, you can just, click here, decide which profiles you'd like to open up. So we've got a few that's already in there. So we have a little basic click through rate one, which is in beta. Keep Gmail alive, which just goes to Gmail, opens up a random email and just keeps your account, drops a fresh cookie. I think they have like a 6-month cookie anyway, something crazy, or a 3-month cookie. So as long as you're doing that every few weeks, you're good. You don't, I mean, I rarely even do that. I don't really have issues. And this is where your automation would go. So there are just my own in here that I've added, YouTube like scripts and random like scripts. You can create your own very easily by clicking record and running that. If you're familiar with Playwright, and even if not, there's instructions on how to use that in the install file. There's a little CSV that shows you what, where to put the data. And yeah, so it's very, very, very straightforward stuff. So here would be the automation. You'd add in, let's say, the keyword here, and it would basically take you to wherever it is that you'd want to direct the traffic to, right? So back to here. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Does that make sense? Okay.
Absolutely.
So. All right. So no more admin with Chameleon mode. It's just, get on with your campaigns, right? Just click button, get in there and just do what you need to do. No dealing with admin, no more, none of that. So what you'll get with Chameleon, there's 3 versions. There's the basic, which is 19, plus is 69, and the pro is 199 a month. And the main differences are in the number of profiles that you get. And then when you have, more profiles, like 300 or so profiles, you're probably going to have virtual assistants or team members that you're going to be, working with. So you get access to 3 team members that allows you to share certain profiles or share all the profiles with them. And then up here, the pro version gives you 1,500 profiles, and you can have up to 15 team members on the seat. So again, who is this for? So, digital marketers, people doing local SEO. If you're affiliate marketer, so faceless channels, we're working on a great case study right now, and a course actually on setting up faceless channels in a way that I've not seen anyone teach, and we're getting great results with it. And that's going to be, we're going to have a course, we're going to have that in the school area. But yeah, so if you're doing faceless channels and you know all about that, you're going to be able to rock it with this. Parasite SEO, CTR, yeah, social CTR, we covered that. If you're an e-commerce shop owner, right, you can access multiple at the same time without having to, log in and out, then deal with all of that usual stuff. And it's pretty much any business owner, anyone who's managing multiple accounts. That's really who this is for. So the 2 choices are go cheap, hope for the best, messy browser profiles, leave a huge footprint, don't have the ability to, cross-pollinate or CTR or use these accounts with each other. And just really hope for the best. Or the second option, which requires a really small investment, to build a solution that takes care of the headache, and in order for you to spend time on what really matters, which is your marketing activities. But just don't take my word for it. Carl, he's been with us for many years from the beginning. And as you can see, he's been with us for 9 years now. And if you want to confidently manage multiple profiles and keep yours or your client's profile secure, no other piece of software that he's used comes close. Me too. I agree. Obviously, I would, but thank you, Carl. And the bonus for today, if you pick up Chameleon mode, we have the automation, which is only given normally to the highest, which is only going to come, which is only part of this AI automation, which we're working on releasing over the next week or two. We're very, very close. I've been speaking to the programmer about it today, and it's groundbreaking type of automation. It's going to be an add-on for all of the models. And today you get access to that. Once that gets released and live, everyone, no matter which version you're on, you will get access to the AI automation. So again, it's 50 browser profiles, $19 a month, $69 a month for 300 profiles, and $199 a month is for the 1500 profiles. And they all come with the exact same system protection. Okay, so bonus number 2, everyone today gets 3 months of bandwidth, 5 GB bandwidth to get you started with, so that you can hit the ground running. If you don't have a proxy service set up, if you're doing local, this isn't going to work for you. You need specific local proxies, and we'll let you know. We have some recommendations there for you of the best ones. Bonus number 3 is access to the strategies, as we mentioned, to set up your faceless channels. For those of you who aren't already in it, who don't know, we're going to be releasing something that is going to make so much sense, based off of tried and tested channels that have gotten hundreds of thousands of views and generated hundreds of thousands of dollars. So weekly training as well, Q&As for everything from, setting up the app to setting up your profiles, your personas, CTR strategies, and whatever else people want to talk about on the Q&A. So if all this did was just take your social networks and channel them and keep them safe, this would be worth it. Or if it would just let you focus on your marketing activities instead of admin, right? It would be worth it. Just scaling unlimited faceless channels, right? So what's this type of productivity worth to you, right? I know what it's worth to me. It's definitely over 25K. It's 1,000x my productivity, $1,000, $5,000. I mean, the sky's the limit, right? So an army of social media influencers is what we're talking about. I mean, how much would you pay in order to have an army of social media influencers working for you? As you saw, some of those other profiles that we've had 500-600 profiles, and we haven't done anything with them. We've had customers paying us for 10 years, peace of mind that the accounts are always safe, secure, and easily accessible and profitable. If I've got Facebook and Gmail accounts with hundreds of followers that I've been showcasing for nearly 10 years on webinars, imagine the power of this if it was in your hands alone, not showcasing, not showing everyone what you're doing, right? So this is the normal price to the general public. If it was that price, it is a general steal, and these are launch prices only. But for today, we're removing that. We're making it even lower. The basic 35% off, so you can get started for $12, right? The plus is $44, 35% off of that. And the pro is $99, 50% off of that. And you get everything that we've discussed up until now in all of the profiles, no matter what you pick. So if you had 2 choices, the first option is obviously just do nothing and not take this leap of faith, which is 100% risk rate, right? Or the second option, which is pony up this small investment today, which is compared to all the value you'll get in return, and just give it a shot. If it works, great. And if not, just ask for your money back and you'll get it back. There's a 30-day money back guarantee. Sign up today. If you don't like it, for whatever reason it might be, I don't care if it's even 31 days, just let me know and we'll give your money back. Absolutely no problem. Right. The real question is it worth gambling just a few minutes of your time to check this out, which if it even does half of what I've claimed today on this webinar will pay for itself and have you scaling your campaigns faster and more effortlessly than ever. The other systems, they can leave you exposed, right? But with Chameleon mode, you have absolute peace of mind. There's the 2 mindsets. I'm just going to go ahead and, do what I think is going to work and continue in this way and not embrace, certain ideas or technology, which is not really new. It's been around for some time now, or just continue in this way, in the end, in terms of productivity and keeping yourself safe, there's only one way. It's with something like Chameleon, and there really is no other option if you're managing multiple profiles and you want to make something or use them or be productive with them, or actually use them to rank and build traffic, build authority. So here's the link if you haven't seen it yet: chameleonmode.com/Craig. If you haven't signed up until now, I see a few people have, but if you haven't up until now, I guess there's only a few reasons. You think it won't work for you, or you don't know how the system works, or you think you don't have what it takes. I'm absolutely nothing special. I'm really not technical at all. You can probably tell I'm not a programmer, or I'm not particularly productive, but I can still easily beat those algorithms with Chameleon mode. So you could start today, $12 a month. And what I'll do is I'll keep it open, as we do have. I know someone had asked for the lifetime, but we'll keep that open for the next week. We'll keep the option open for the next week. If you have picked up Chameleon mode today, we'll let us know how you get on with it. A lot of people are upgrading, and just hit us up on support, let us know, and we'll send you that lifetime link for you to upgrade as well. Were there any more questions over there that have come through?
I don't know. Is anyone's got any questions? Put them in the chat just now. While we've got the guys here. But I have a question. Say you're some lazy bastard like me who likes the look of this and says, this is great, but I can't be fucked setting up all those accounts. Like, is there a place or a service, or how do you go about that? Because I know loads of guys who will be just like me, where they're like, this looks really good, but I can't be fucked setting all of these up. Is there a quick or a way to do this?
Yep, we were talking about that. Brian has got a whole bunch of sites, some resources that he's used over the years, and you can very easily purchase sites. You can very easily purchase these profiles, accounts, Gmail, aged, Facebook, aged, whatever it might be, and just add them in and not have to deal with any of that. So yeah, it's very straightforward to do that. You can easily build them as well. Gmail straightforward, but obviously you want to build up authority with some of these. You want aged accounts with a lot of the things that you're doing, but there's nothing to stop you in the meantime sending, having your VA just sit there creating stuff, in the background as sort of supplementary stuff, or just I like to purchase them when possible, right? So yeah, that's very straightforward to do.
So there are loads of services out there. So what I would always recommend is just Google PVA, which stands for Phone Verified Account, and Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Gmail, and then there'll be loads of them. Because what actually does happen, as soon as we start recommending a service, that service ends up running out of accounts. They end up being really slow at responding, and then we get it in the ear by the customers saying, "Oh, you recommended this." So as soon as we find a new one, I will share it onto school and stuff. But they run out pretty fast. So just once you found a few good ones, just keep on going back to them, and all the Google searches will be decent enough. Just one thing, and I think I said it last time when we were on, if you do buy them, make sure you get them. Just get a VA to go in and get them registered, and you change the email address and the password, so the cheeky bastards don't go and then resell them on to somebody else. They'll change the password, they'll change the email, and then they go and sell them to other people. So you just need to be mindful of that, because you get 3 days to do all that. But yeah,
there's tons
short
of places.
answers. Yes.
Yeah.
So always some motherfucker robbing you.
There is. Yeah.
But
so Craig, just quickly, so you used to use Browsio. You were an old original customer. What did you used to use Browsio for?
It was just managing fake personas, really. You know, I was big on, I had a lot of fake personas who were doing just random stuff on social media and stuff like that, nothing too heavy. But these fake personas that I had back in the day, I still got some of them actually, but you know, these used to own PBNs and stuff like that as well. So like domains would be under those and all that stuff. So it wasn't like, you know, anything that I'd done in some crazy mass scale or anything. It was just a whole bunch of profiles that just done things for me, like you know, sharing stuff in social media, liking stuff in social media, just basic crap like that. So yeah, I wouldn't say I was doing anything that was world class or anything like that.
But that's really what the tool is for, right? And I think people expect something really, really sexy and like, you know, it does all, but the basic things is why it's good, right?
Yeah,
that's because it works really well for doing that bit. Yeah,
exactly. You just got to, you know, if you can automate that whole thing, then happy days is all I would say.
Well,
do it.
We've got some crazy automation that we are just on the cusp of releasing, and it's going to blow people away. So very excited about that. And as I said, anyone that picks this up now, if you're in you know, it's going to be a paid add-on, you know, for any of the groups, but whoever's picking this up now will get access to that automation. It's using AI in a way that people haven't seen yet implemented in this way. Yeah.
And it's also just note, and I know you touched on this, but we have Playwright. So anything that you can do within a browser, you can record your actions and then save it and then click on run on any of the profiles and it'll just run that. So what we were mentioning earlier, just from a PBM perspective, what we found is that not just keeping them alive, but making them making the links more powerful is somebody doing a brand search for that PBN, finding it. So Google then goes, oh yeah, this is a real site because somebody's searching for it by name and they're clicking on it. And then you can go one step further and click to your money site from that PBN, which sounds all simple and stuff, but it's that kind of, we're not talking about doing it on mass scale here. We're just talking about, you know, the odd 1 and 2, and it works, and it you know, works really well.
Mm-hmm.
And it's easy to do.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's all we want. That's all we want.
It is. Yep. And thanks again, Craig, for having us on. We do appreciate it, bud.
Yep. No worries. As I say, I like to share things that are exciting, new, that do good things. So, you know, I think there's a massive demand. I'm not going to sit here and shoot myself in the foot by telling people what I may or may not use it for, but there's a lot of different things there that it can be used for. So if people just think outside the box, I think it would be a very useful piece of kit.
Yeah, and we're trying to, I don't really know how to say this, we're trying to sell it as white hat as we can, for want of a better word. I was explaining it to, I went to Charles Float's event last Friday, and that's why I'm coughing, because every time I seem to go to a Charles Float event, I end up poorly for the week afterwards. What the fuck is all that about? And there was somebody in there, and he goes, in my group, he went, this is the worst type of tool for my software, because it means that everybody can go, I don't know if I should say this, I'm going to say it now anyway. It means everybody can go and get free accounts behind loads of different personas and use our software for free all the time. He's like, I love the idea of it, but I hate it all at the same time. So yeah, there you go.
Who was that?
Somebody from Wincher.
I just wanted to know the tool that we can abuse for free.
Yeah.
I just wanted to see if you would give that up. So
yeah. you absolutely got me then. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. He's going to hate me now. He's going to be sending me a message in a minute going, you fucking bastard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, mate. Sorry.
Thank you.
But anything else you think's worth sharing with the guys, or is that it?
Well, I think that's it for now. I mean, there's so many different use cases, from CTR to, you know, managing your PBNs, setting up your PBNs right, you know, and then having the correct authorship from your sites, because that's really what we're talking about here. Is like when you're setting up, you know, an AI site or whatever it might be, you're building a site, you have to have a whole profile, personas connected to the authorship, right? So, you know, so it just takes that headache away from it. And I know a lot of people are setting up a lot of AI sites now, and like I said before, complaining that they're not seeing that much traction, they're not ranking. It's because, you know, you're not creating that topical authority along with the EAT that's needed to have that profile, that persona, have that same kind of footprint back to show that, oh, it's connected to a social profile, a real person, a real author. It's not just a blog, it's not just a website. Same thing with the PBNs, right? So just something that people should think about if you're building those sites, lots of sites, and you know, you're just pumping out these AI sites and expecting them to rank without having any kind of real authorship connected to it. You're not filling that main area of EAT, which is having an author connected to your profile that has also got a topical authority in that area. So that means that this author will have a blogger and a WordPress and a YouTube and a Twitter and Facebook, all about, you know, this area, whatever it's going to be, digital marketing, or if it's going to be about yoga, or if it's going to be meditation, whatever it's going to be. This profile is now connected to that, right? You can't have one profile connected. I'm the best at vaping, I'm the best at this, I'm the best at that. You can't, right? So each profile has to have, and it keeps that topical authority within the site, within the profile, and gives that extra bit of authenticity that sites like Google need to see in order to pay a little bit more attention to you, right? So, you know, at the core of everything that we're doing here is it's just about whatever you do online, it starts at an email and it doesn't end there, because when you set up a site and you're connecting an email to it, obviously that email should be connected to a whole social profile, right? It doesn't just end at that email when you're opening up an email. So when you're creating these sites, whether or not they're blogs or PBNs,
Cheers,
it's important
Craig.
to take that into account. Yeah.
Sorry, bud. Sorry. So it's also, I think it's another one that our customers like are the LinkedIn outsourcers. They've not been able to use other services like our competitor services to manage multiple LinkedIn accounts, but they've managed to do it with Chameleon. We've had some really good feedback from that, haven't we?
Yeah, using it for cold outreach across all the social platforms, setting up socials, and then reaching out to people in that way. Just like you get messages all the time, you know, the cold outreach, that classic thing. So people who are doing that, you know, if there's anyone listening that does that, this is a very easy way, because I've spoken to a lot of people and they don't even know that they have the ability to separate things like this, that tools like this exist, that, you know. So anyone that's doing outreach, this will help streamline that entire process for you and keep your accounts alive.
Yeah. Awesome.
Cool. Well, anyone watching, guys, the link is below if you want to check out Chameleon, and you can get in touch with the guys. They've obviously got a community there if you're in there with education and everything else going on, and they're always adding new functions and features. So do keep watching out and seeing all the kind of stuff that you're adding, because I think there's always going to be something getting added onto this. It could just grow arms and legs to crazy amounts of things. So, so it'll be interesting to see how that evolves over a period of time.
Yep.
Awesome.
But,
yeah. All right.
You guys. And
lovely.
Thanks for listening.
Later.
Thank you.
Take
See
care.
You later.
Bye. See you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.